Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today guys, we're going to be reviewing my second ever Iron Man, but my first Hot Toys Iron Man, and it is Neon Tech Iron Man 4.0, which was released back in 2021 by Hot Toys. I believe this figure was inspired by Mark 50, which was released in Avengers Infinity War, so very excited to get started with this figure. Before I just get started with the actual video itself, as usual guys, want to thank you for the continued support. For those of you guys who are viewing me for the first time, if it's not too much to ask, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course hit the notifications bell so that way you guys can stay updated with any upcoming videos that I will be posting. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first with the box. So I love the coloring on the box. The orange, black, white, gray looks phenomenal. Here at the very bottom we have first the logo, Movie Masterpiece Series diecast, as I think every single Hot Toys figure has. We then also have the name of the figure, Neon Tech Iron Man 4.0. I love the font, makes it seem technological, so I'm glad that Hot Toys included this detail. We do also have the name of the movie, Avengers Infinity War. Later on I will explain the connection between Infinity War and this figure. And then of course we have Iron Man all across the cover. We do also have the secondary box on the right side, which is made out of foam, and the figure will be inside here. We'll take that out eventually a little bit later on. And then on the back we do have the back side of Iron Man with the same coloring, same font, and of course with all the instructions that Hot Toys includes for every single figure. Again, in love with the coloring. The orange fits very well. On the left side of the box we have in the middle the arc reactor, along with the lines that pretty much make it seem like a technology Neon Tech figure-ish. So pretty much in love with the box, love how it looks. Since the box is too big, I'm not going to go over the process of actually taking out the figure, so I'm just going to do this. And now we just have the foam cover. As you guys can see here on the foam box, we have Neon Tech Iron Man 4.0 also on top of it. And as I go ahead and get this thing out to review it, first impressions, honestly guys, really good. This thing is heavy, but I love how he looks. Very shiny, black, orange, gray, just like the box. The colors are really well done by Hot Toys. Love the detailing on this thing. The figure is very well connected, just like Iron Man is in Avengers Infinity War. On the back side, same thing. Everything looks very well colored, and I really love how it looks. Obviously it's going to be a process of us putting this thing together, so I will be going that a little bit more in detail later on. But so far, really happy that I got this. Honestly, very good to start. Usually guys, with other figures I only review the figure, but since I don't see any of the accessories, I did want to go ahead and get them out just so that way you guys can see. And as you guys can tell, we have a lot to cover. There's a lot of things that we have here, so very excited to get started. Has a lot of accessories, so we'll be very excited to get them reviewed with you guys. So far off to a good start, but yes, we'll first get started with the accessories, and then we'll take a look deeper into Iron Man. Okay, so now on to the accessories. So before I do get started, quickly want to mention, so whenever this figure was released at first, I believe Hot Toys had an exclusive version which had a little bit more accessories. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that, so I do apologize about that. Just really quick, here we have a shield that I really love. It's really big, and the orange on it makes it look very good. As you guys can see, it's pretty much see-through, and he did use it in Infinity War whenever he fought Thanos, for those of you guys who watched the movie. We do also have this very beautiful and neat blade. As you guys can see, has the orange, like a clear orange, and of course the black or charcoal black on in the middle. You guys can attach it to one of Iron Man's hands on either side, and looks really neat. Honestly, love how it looks. Off to a good start with this one. We do have a couple of cannons as well. This one, guys, you can attach it and detach it to Iron Man's forearm on either arm. Pretty much at this point it's a preference depending on what you guys want Iron Man to look like, and those 2 points would be attached to Iron Man's right or left arm. So just another option for you guys that you guys can choose for him. Looks really good. Again, coloring phenomenal. We have another bigger cannon. Now this one, guys, you guys would actually have to detach the whole right or left forearm of Iron Man. I do believe with the batteries this thing lights up, and we'll go over that a little bit later on once we start looking at Iron Man. But so far this piece of artwork looks really good, and so far off to a great start. We have this back part that I believe goes attached to Iron Man's back part. I believe that's where we can install the batteries for the arc reactor, and we can detach the normal back plate and install this one. Again, we'll go over that a little bit later on, but so far, love how the coloring looks. Black, orange looks well done. And along with the silver, it does have a little bit of a metallic silver, so that looks pretty good as well. And then we have the display base, as usual. We have the name of the figure, Neon Tech Iron Man, at the bottom. We have kind of like a technology kind of form on the base that looks really nice. And I believe in the middle, like a circular form that represents the arc reactor. Love how it looks on him. And then for the first time ever, guys, I'm going to be showing you the batteries that it comes with. And then the reason why is just so that way you guys have an idea of how many batteries this thing needs. We have a total of 18 batteries that go onto Iron Man. So that's just pretty much, lets you know how cool he will look once we install it on him. And I'm glad that they included that many batteries. Adds more detail to him. And then we also have a couple of pair of hands. So both of these hands will be used to hold the blade, either left or right. Again, the coloring looks very well done. In the middle, we have two gray fingers, and then the rest is black and orange. Love how they look. We have a couple of pair of hands here that are pretty much open wide, so that way you guys can have him shooting beams out of the middle of his hand. As you guys can see, it seems like these hands can be light up as well, so I'm happy about that, and we'll go over that a little bit later on. But so far, again, really impressed. We have another pair of hands. Now these are open wide, but the difference is that you guys can actually bend the fingers in any way or form you want to. Again, at this point, it all depends on you how you guys want to display the figure, but at least what Iron Man does is that it gives you options as to how you guys want to have them displayed. So pretty much that's what it has with the hands. So overall, guys, very impressed with the accessories. Again, apologies if I don't have all the accessories, just like that is exclusive version, but this is what we have so far, and so far off to a great start with the accessories. Okay, so now to Mr. Iron Man himself. So really quick, wanted to touch base on that point that I made about him being part of Infinity War. So first of all, this is Mark 50, so obviously that suit was in Infinity War. Also, I'm not sure if maybe I caught on to this detail or this is the reason that Hot Toys released it this way, but I'm not sure if you remember, guys, before Iron Man suits up, Tony Stark has his jacket and sweatpants in this exact same color. He has gray, black, and also a little bit of orange. So I'm not sure if Hot Toys was, I guess, inspired by this idea. If they were, great. If not, great as well. I mean, I think that the idea of releasing this figure is phenomenal. This figure is amazing. As we look at the arms, pretty much you guys can fold them any way you want to. He is really heavy, so you guys have to be careful. It's not as easy to bend as other figures. As you guys can see, I already got something stuck in here. So, oh my goodness, I am so sorry about that. But as I detach this thing, again, even though the arms can bend any way you want to, you guys do have to be careful, because since a lot of things can be removed from Iron Man, some things cannot. So just make sure you don't break anything. We look at the legs, same thing. They're very heavy and they're bendable, but it's hard to bend them, so you guys have to be careful with that. But again, the good thing about him is that you can pose them any way you want to, so I love the fact that the figure comes this way. We look at the helmet, look at the charcoal black, looks phenomenal. I'm honestly very impressed with how it looks. I'm very happy with how it looks, and I'm glad that I picked them up. Probably a little bit too late, so I do apologize. Now we get started with the battery. So first we remove the helmet, which is very easy to remove, and as you guys can see now with the lights on, looks even better. Those are where the first three batteries go to. we go to the second pair of batteries, and it's gonna be here on the back. So first, you guys want to open these two back parts on the right and the left, so that you guys can remove the back part from him. Now this one, it took me a while to remove it, but I finally learned how to do it. Here are the other three batteries, and to me the most important. As you guys can see, it has 6 lights in the back and in the front, along with the arc reactor. So already the figure looks so much better with the lights on, and we only have turned on 2 of the 6 lights that we have. So that's going to be the back part of the figure. So far off to a good start. And also you guys can attach this part, which we had talked about earlier when we were going over the accessories, and to me it even looks much better than with the regular back plate. Again, at this point it's going to be up to you guys to see what you would prefer with the figure, but to me, I like this. I like how it looks, and I think I will be displaying it this way once I put them up. Now we start with the arms. This to me was the hardest part when it comes to installing the battery. So first you guys have to bend the arm, and then you guys are going to take this part out. That's where you install the batteries. But to actually turn it on, we're going to take out this other part on the bottom of the arm, which is going to be this gray part right here, and that's where you guys would turn it on. This is going to turn 2 lights on. One which is on his biceps or triceps, whatever you call that muscle, as you guys can see right there. And then the other light is going to be his hand. Not sure why this one's not turning on. I'm not sure if I have to attach the wide open arm. Let me go ahead and do that so that way we can see both lights on the figure. You guys can just give me 1 second while I detach this one. Let me see. There we go. Oh, never mind. It is turning on, so I guess maybe that arm wasn't working. Not sure. Sorry about that. But let me go ahead and attach a wide open arm, so that way it makes it seem like Iron Man is shooting beams out of his arms. If I do seem like I'm shaking, I do apologize, guys. This figure is hard to put together. But there we go. As you guys can see now, you guys can have him shooting beams with his arms. We have almost all the lights turned on. Just gives a whole new context to this figure. Now we go to the other arm, which is the right arm. Same thing here. We take this part out. That's where you install the batteries. Again, the hardest part to me out of the whole figure. It took me a while to get it all together. Obviously, I'm not going to have you guys watch a 2-hour clip. I did want to learn before I actually started the video. This is going to be where the light turns on, and as we get that turned on, see, and there we have the other hand. Again, very neat, honestly. Very happy with how he looks. Very impressed. Really love how the lights combine with the black and orange. So now, guys, what I'm going to go ahead and do is that I'm going to go ahead and attach this this whole part. As mentioned before, we have to take the whole forearm out, and it's going to be one of the cannons that I really like how it looks. I do believe with the cannon, the light should still reflect so that it looks even much better. And as we get this thing attached, you guys should hear a pop, so make sure that you guys get that so that way you know it's fully attached. And there we go. Now with the cannon, even much better. As you guys can see with the lighting, looks very well done. I promise you guys, in person looks much better. Again, my camera isn't the greatest, so it might not look as good in video as maybe other collectors, but well, we work with what we have, so apologies about that. And now onto the legs. You guys remove this outside part of the leg. I think only one light turns on, so not bummed about it. I believe we have too many lights on this figure, but wish probably there were maybe 1 or 2 more on the bottom leg. But you guys can detach this part from the left leg. Make sure it clicks as well, so that way you know that it has clicked correctly. And then same thing here on the right leg. Again, turn it on, put it back together, and see, 1 second while I attach this. Sorry about that, guys. Again, this thing is hard to put together, and there we go. We have a total of 18 batteries put all together, all the lighting in the world, and this thing looks beautiful. Really in love with how it looks, and I'm glad that I picked it up. So that's how you guys can attach the batteries and turn them on. And to me, again, looks really good. Okay guys, so wanted to make a quick comparison with my other Iron Man that I have. Probably not the greatest comparison because obviously it's not the same colors or the same suit, but this is my second Iron Man, so at least so that way you guys who are looking to purchase Iron Mans can tell some of the differences. So first, Mark III is a little bit taller because with this CD Toys figure, it is a 1/5 scale. With my Neon Tech, it is a 1/6 scale, so obviously the higher the number, the taller the figure, right? But as you guys can see them standing still, obviously Mark 50 looks much more well put together, but it's not necessarily a complaint against CD Toys. I mean, it's the fact that it's Mark 50 compared to Mark 3, so obviously the newer suit will look more well put together. But the thing that I love about the Neon Tech Iron Man is, again, it's just the way that he feels. He feels so heavy and very well put together. The color texture, just the way that it feels. I think that you guys are gonna actually have to experience this in person, so that way you guys know what I'm talking about. But the one thing that the ZD Toys figure did beat Hot Toys in is the fact that I can charge it with the USB charger. And that's one of the complaints that I've always had of Hot Toys, is that whenever the batteries run out, well, you're done. You pretty much have to purchase new batteries. But with the Mark III, you don't have to do that. You guys can actually charge it as many times as you want to and have them display turned on as many times as you want to. I wish that Hot Toys would do that, especially with Iron Man, because he includes so many lights. But again, overall, obviously, I do prefer the Neon Tex Iron Man. I can see why the pricing on the figure is much more, because obviously the way he feels, the accessories, the colors, the suit type, everything else. Honestly, very well done, very great figure, and I'm very happy that I picked them up. Okay, and now to the final part of the video, which is my favorite, posing. With this figure, guys, you guys are going to have the most options out of any figure that you guys might ever receive. Well, in my case, I've never had a figure with so many options. With all the accessories and with all the different ways that you guys can display Iron Man, it gives you really a lot of options when it comes to posing. I'm going to include only 3 poses, but for you guys, it is all going to depend on how you want to display him. My final thoughts on him, honestly, glad I picked him up. Looks phenomenal. Looks really good. Coloring, phenomenal. The charcoal black and the orange really mix very well when it comes to this figure. So I'm very glad that I picked him up. I did quickly want to apologize for the video, guys. So you guys are probably going to notice that there were a lot of things that were cut, and there were times where it seemed that I was jumping from one spot to another. I do apologize about that, guys, but this figure is a little delicate, so it's hard to put him together. It's hard to remove the batteries and put them all together. So obviously I didn't want to do a 2-hour video of me trying to put this thing together. So I try to make it as neat and as easy as possible, so that way you guys can enjoy the figure and not me putting batteries on the figure. But overall, again, it's worth it. This thing is phenomenal. I have no complaints whatsoever. This is as good as it gets. At some point, maybe I would like to at least purchase the actual Mark 50, the normal one from Infinity Ward, so that we can make a more proper comparison as to the differences and how it looks, and what looks better on one figure or what looks worse on another. Obviously, the comparison with Mark III isn't really fair, but I'm hoping that you guys can understand me having 2 Iron Man figures. Just wanted to see what the differences were, and whether this is a must buy. I would say, guys, that if you guys are a big Iron Man fan, I would go for it, honestly. This is really, really good. But if not, I understand. At the same time, it is pretty expensive, so I would not blame you guys. But before I do go ahead and end the video, want to remind you guys that I am on TikTok and Instagram. The links to that are on the description of my video. Also, I did purchase this figure from Sideshow Collectibles. The link for that is on the description also of my video. They have payment plans along with a reward point system, so really recommend that you guys take a look at them. And the figure is ready to ship, so you guys would get it really ASAP. As usual, guys, thank you so much for the continued support on my channel. If you did like this video, feel free to like it, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notifications bell for any upcoming videos. For now, this is it for Iron Man Neon Tech 4.0. Once again, thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you next time.